Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hazimah binti Zakir and my metric number is 273304. So today our group are going to present issues in public sector financial management of the selected statutory bodies. So without further ado, let's begin with the introduction. The public sector is one of the most important sectors in a country. It is responsible for providing essential services to the people. Financial management in the public sector is unique and is not common in other sectors. So this study outlines the discussion on the dimension in the annual report of the statutory bodies. There are 11 dimensions will be discussed, which are the board of director, audit committee, other committees, ethics and value, integrity, internal control, internal audit, risk management, stakeholder relations, performance and evaluation, and last but not least, others corporate social responsibility. And we will compare them with the Malaysian Treasury Circular. So our group has chosen 5 statutory bodies under different ministries. As you can see on the slide, we have Yayasan Pelajaran Mara, YPM, which is under the Ministry of Rural Development. We have Malaysian Qualification Agency, MQA, under the Ministry of Higher Education. We have Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera, LITAT, under the Ministry of Defence, and Perbadanan Kemajuan Kraftangan Malaysia, Kraftangan, under the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. And last, Lembaga Perindustrian Kayu Malaysia, MTIB, is under the Ministry of Plantation Industry and Commodities. So we will discuss the issue in public sector financial management of statutory bodies.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Siti Nur Fatihah binti Izhar and my metric number is 273359. I will continue this presentation with explaining about 2.0 research method on this study. Okay, for the source of information, we get it based on secondary data from the annual reports of 5 Malaysian statutory bodies for the year 2019. These 5 statutory bodies came from, first, Yayasan Pelajaran Mara, YPM. Second, Malaysian Qualification Agency, MQA. Third, Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera, LTAT. Fourth, Perbadanan Kemajuan Kraftangan Malaysia, Kraftangan. 5. Lembaga Perindustrian Kayu Malaysia, MTIB. Okay, let's see further how these 5 organizations generate their annual report, whether they follow guideline of Treasury Circular or not. Okay, after doing some analysis of these 5 organizations, which is LTAT, MQA, YPM, MTIB and Kraftangan, we can see that only Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera, LTAT, has complied almost 90% with Treasury Circulars in generating their annual report. Why I say so? It is because LTAT have covered almost all an important element that should be disclosed in their annual report, which is statement of BOD, statement of audit and others committee, ethics, value and integrity, internal control, internal audit and risk management, and also they mention about stakeholder relation, their performance and evaluation, and about their CSR. Okay, then followed by Yayasan Pelajaran Mara, YPM, Malaysian Qualification Agency, MQA, and Lembaga Perindustrian Kayu Malaysia, MTIB. These 3 organizations produce their annual report based on Treasury Circular guidelines in nearly 70%. While not all elements have been discovered in the annual report, they have met requirements that should be included in the annual report, such as statement of BOD, audit committee, internal audit, and so on. Okay, next, we can see that the organization with this requirement is Kraftangan. Let's only follow 30% of Treasury Circular guideline. Its annual report can be considered less quality than these other 4 organizations. Although this organization is only follow few requirements, its annual report still have been approved to be seen public as a statutory body. That's all from me. Let's see further discussion from the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Munirah Rahab binti Ariuman with meeting number 273369. So I will proceed with the discussion part. In this part, we are going to discuss 6 dimension by relate it with Malaysian Treasury Circular. So I will explain 2 dimension which are board of director and audit committee, and the rest will be explained by my group mate. So in the BOD dimension, there are consists of 4 aspects, which are frequency of meeting, composition of BOD, qualification and experience. So for the aspect of frequency of meeting, as we can see here, 4 out of 5 federal statutory body that we choose have their meeting. According to Malaysian Treasury Circular, the information that needed in the annual report is the meeting of BOD. But if we see here, Kraftangan did not follow the requirement that set in the circular. So next is a qualification and experience of BOD. Unfortunately, there is no information about it in all the annual report of federal statutory body that we choose. I will proceed with the compositions of BOD. So in these compositions, there are 5 divisions which are prominent leader of organization and society, government agency representative from the supervising ministry, Ministry of Finance and Prime Minister Department, professional body, representatives of statutory body target group and other prominent person with expertise related with the statutory body. So as we can see here, YPN only stated the information about the supervising ministry, which are the Rural Development Ministry, and the next one LTAT. So LTAT be led by the Datuk Seri Zulkifli Ali and be supervised under the Ministry of Defence. So in LTAT, there are 4 members that been appointed by Minister for Representative of Statutory Body. So MTIB be supervised under Kementerian Industri Utama, but now known as Kementerian Perusahaan, Perdagangan dan Komuniti. So the next one is MQA. So MQA be led by Prof. Dr. Asma binti Ismail, the President of Academic Science Malaysia, and being supervised under Ministry of Higher Education. MQA have representative from the MOF, who is a Dr. Amram. The last one is Kraft Tangan. Kraft Tangan be supervised under Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. So Kraft Tangan have other prominent person that's expertise related to the statutory body, who is Puan Silawati binti Syuib. The second dimension is audit committee. There are 5 aspects in this dimension. So the first aspect is a frequency of meeting. YPM, NTIB and MQA stated information the meeting of audit committee, as we can see in the slide. So the next one is compositions of audit committee. The information that reported in the annual report of Federal Stability, which is only LTAT and NTIB. So LTAT be led by Datuk Seri Zulkifli Ali, the Secretary General of Ministry of Defence at that time, and MTIB is led by Datuk Dr. Abdul Latif bin Mohamad, is from FRAME. So for the aspect of qualification of audit committee, only YPN state the information about it, which are audit committee must be through its board. The next one is that there is no information about experience for all the ceremony that we choose in the context of audit committee. Last but not least, for the role of functions aspect, YPN LTAT state the information about it, where is audit committee of YPN is fully responsible to its board, while LTAT responsible to make sure effectiveness of its external control system. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Umi Maisara Rosli. So I will continue about the dimension of integrity. Integrity always connected and linked to responsibility and honesty about what happened and dealing with the fallout. In this slide, we can see that YPM has the Integrity Unit, named as Integrity and Governance Unit, and MQA named it as Integrity Unit and Enforcement, while MQA and Kraft Tangan disclose the Integrity Unit in their organisation chart. Next, for Certified Integrity Officer, there will only have an LTAT annual report. Function of Integrity Unit be disclosed by YPM to comply with MARA General Circular Letter. In this slide, YPM, LTAT and MQA have their own integrity plan. Moreover, only MQA have the channel for reporting, such as the SPPA system and complaint form, while the need of whistleblowing policy to ensure the best governance is implemented at MQA and LTAT level for prevention and detection of wrongdoings, corruption and misuse of power effectively. By looking at the separated section on integrity, YPM has 2 separated entities named as Education Funds and YPM Funds, while MQA divided into 3 sections that are integrity, enforcement and legal section prosecution. Having an internal audit can make it easier to take corrective action based on the weakness that has been reported. From this slide, we can see the Internal Audit Department, responsibility of internal audit and explanation about internal audit only were provided by YPM and LTAT in their annual report. Explanation about internal audit for YPM is YPM provided the chart showing the KPI and their achievement that were based on compliance, follow-up and appearance that makes the internal audit align with the YPM objective in the internal audit. Whereas LTAT are using the risk of profiles of business unit as the basis in preparing the audit strategy and planning in the internal audit process involving the level of compliance, starting from LTAT's policy, procedures, guideline and other rules and regulation. Moving to the staff of internal audit function, only YPM and MQA has the people that hold the position as Chief Internal Audit. Meanwhile, only LTAT has the separate section on internal audit, which are the key elements of internal control other than monitoring and review the adequacy of integrity of the internal control system. For example, taken from key elements of internal control are the annual budgets are prepared by the operating units, reviewed by the management and approved by the board. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hello everyone, my name is Nashkimi Desambir and my metric number is 273358. So now I will continue the presentation by explaining about the performance of evaluation for 5 statutory bodies. So firstly, I will talk about the targeted and achieved key performance indicators, then later I will explain about the outcome and impact of the program. Another piece of information that must be disclosed in the annual report to show the performance and evaluation of further statutory bodies every year is the key performance indicators. So first thing first, let's talk about Yayasan Pelajaran Malaysia (YPM). So YPM have reported all this information in its annual report but failed to provide an overview of KPI, which is the most important analysis to see whether YPM had achieved its target goals or not. So the next one is about Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera (LITAT). LITAT, on the other hand, has provided an overview of KPI that shows mostly its targeted goals that have been achieved and not much differ from the target ones. So LITAT has shown the progress of the program and provide its future planning to improve its investment activities. However, LITAT still failed to disclose encountered problems in implementing its program and also no further explanation about the factors influencing the performance achievement. Same goes to MTIB. Okay, MTIB, this is Stability also did not provide an overview of its KPI and no explanation of how it could improve its performance in year 2019, even though MTIB disclosed progress of its program and shown clear chart for its improvement. So meanwhile, for MQA, it almost fulfilled the requirements needed in the Malaysian Tertiary Circular by providing an overview of KPI, future planning, progress of programs, and many more. But still, MQA failed to disclose the actual cost incurred and even not stated what actually did the MQA accounted in implementing its program. So on the other hand, okay, there is no information provided in draft tangan about its targeted and achieved KPIs. Now we move to another section, which is about the outcome and impact of program. Only 3 statutory bodies provide this section, which is the first one is YPM. So YPM has carried 4 programs in 2019 and its first program is Keep Anak Angkat YPM. So by implementing this program, YPM succeeds in helping those innocent children to have education and also raise awareness among the community to open their eyes to people who are in need. So meanwhile, LITAT have conducted all 3 programs or initiative and LITAT always making sure that all its program give positive impact to its performance. For example, like LITAT established a briefing program and customer care program to enhance its customer satisfaction. So the next one is about MTIB. MTIB totally have conducted 7 programs in 2019 and disclosed the purpose, objectives, the scope and targeted output and income of its program. However, MQA and Kraftangan did not disclose any further information about this section. So for this other dimension, on the 3 statutory bodies disclose information about its CSR activities in 2019. So the first one is YPM. So YPM involved in program that help students at school with the purpose of improving their academic performance. This is a better way to produce youth with excellent background. So the next one is about LITAT. LITAT also conducted many initiatives of CSR with solely purpose to give better life to its army community. On the other hand, about MTIB, okay, MTIB also involved in CSR programs which relate to corporate work in order to extend the networking. For MQA and Kraftangan, there is no further information provided about CSR activity. That's all from me. Thank you.
We have reached to the conclusion, so I will wrap up our discussion. As mentioned earlier, our group has analysed the annual report for the year 2019 of 5 statutory bodies, which is LITAT, MQA, MBIT, YPM and Kraftangan. After studying, we found that not all the details of the dimensions discussed were disclosed in their annual report. This signifies that there is also a statutory bodies that does not fulfill the requirement of the Malaysian Treasury Circular. So other than that, based on the analysis of the selected statutory bodies annual report in 2019, LITAT provided much information on the dimension compared to others, such as on the dimension of board of director, the representative of the statutory body target group, certified integrity officer, separate section on internal audit and others. Meanwhile, Kraftangan did not disclose much information in the annual report. Only the composition of the board of directors, on government agency representative and other prominent persons with expertise or specific knowledge related to the statutory bodies and the integrity unit in the organisation chart. Meanwhile, MQA, MBIT and YPM disclose about 70% their information based on Treasury Circular guidelines. In our opinion, the statutory bodies should disclose the information required by the Malaysian Treasury Circular, as they are the public sector, which are one of the most important sectors in a country. So I think that's all from our group. Thank you.